I am Sister Margaret Nyanjirechi, a sister of Our Lady of Good Counsel from Uganda, Mbarara Archdiocese. The Congregation of Our Lady of Good Counsel, Sisters, is a diocesan African women religious institute. It was started in 1937 in Mbarara Diocese by the Canadian Sisters of Our Lady of Good Counsel. In 1957, the congregation became independent diocesan indigenous congregation. Today, the total number of professed sisters were 338, and about 110 sisters are aged and retired. The mission of our congregation is evangelization through integral education and formation for the lowly of society. The sisters have founded schools, vocational training centers, and health centers. The congregation supports many youth, those in schools and out of school. The sisters teach and help those with special needs, like the blind, disabled, lame, deaf, especially the victims of HIV/AIDS.
Hi, I'm Maureen Heil from the Propagation of the Faith Office here in the Archdiocese of Boston. And I wanted to just take a few moments to share a little bit of my experience when I visited Sister Margaret and the Sisters of Our Lady of Good Counsel in Mbarara, Uganda, a few years ago. The sisters were so excited. I arrived just before dusk, which is really important in Uganda. You don't drive at night there. There's no street lights. The road conditions are pretty bad, and people are walking constantly. So it's a danger to the pedestrians, but it's a danger to the drivers and their passengers as well. So they were very happy that I had arrived before dusk, and they had flowers hanging from the trees to decorate the driveway to welcome me. They danced and they sang. Their hospitality was overwhelming. You would have thought that I was a long lost member of their congregation returned home. When you go to the missions, you'll find that the people are incredibly generous, and they will share their last of anything with you just to show you their hospitality. Now, while I was with the sisters, and I stayed with them for a few days, they took me to a few of the different sites that they work at that donations from appeals like this help to support in a very real way. One of them is a school and a vocational training center for young women and young men, teenagers really, who have mental and physical challenges in their life. Now, in a place like Uganda, when you're born with a physical or a mental challenge, quite often you're put aside in the family. You're not given the attention and the care, and that's really due to a kind of a lack of education in the rural areas that many adults have lived with. They don't understand that there are still talents in you that God can bring forward. And so the sisters go out into the rural areas and they find these young people and they bring them to the school. They clothe them, they feed them, they educate them, and they help them to understand how much God loves them. On this particular day that I visited the school, the girls and boys were making school uniforms. So they were actually sitting at looms and doing this intricate work that I know my fingers could not have gotten around, but the sisters had trained them, and they were knitting sweaters that would be school uniforms for the local schools. In Uganda, every student wears a school uniform, whether they're in a private school or a public school. And actually, it's one of the things that will keep a child out of school is if their parents cannot afford the uniform or the textbooks or the school fees. Public school is not free in Uganda. And so the sisters then go and sell these uniforms to local people, and that helps to supply the needs of these young people. And so with your donations today, you would help those sisters who are literally taking these children in and saving their lives.
The congregation may help many other needy people that flock the doors of convents for help. The congregation built a health center to treat these people in the poor communities. We need to build an operating room in order to get doctors help in our health center for surgery. This only needs a lot of money. This demand alone stretches the financial ability of the congregation. The challenges in the congregation. There is high level of poverty, lack of money to build the surgery room in our health center, building a home for the aged and sick sisters, high rate of controllable and curable diseases. HIV/AIDS is a scourge and have claimed lives of many parents, leaving behind many widows, widowers, orphans, and even babies. The congregation supports them.
Another place that we visited was the novitiate, and I was amazed at how many young women were there. And again, all there to greet me on the front steps, singing and dancing like I was a local hero. And they sat down to listen to me, but really I had questions for them. I wanted to ask them, why the Sisters of Our Lady of Good Counsel? There are so many local diocesan orders of sisters spread across Uganda. They could have had their choice of many. And later, actually, the superior said to me, I was a little nervous when you asked them that question. I didn't know what they'd say. Well, their answers were brilliant. One girl said to me, I was a sickly girl when I was little, and the nurses in the hospital were from the Sisters of Our Lady of Good Counsel. And I thought, I want to be like them. I want to heal people. And another girl said, the sisters were my teachers in school. And I thought, if I can help educate girls, because a lot of girls don't get an education in the missions. They're married off very, very young and start their own families at even 12 and 13. And this young girl said, if I can be one of those sisters and save some young girls and educate them, then that's what God means me to be. But the most moving of all of them was one girl who was a little too shy to speak up and raise her hand. As I was leaving, she pulled me aside and she said, I want to be a Sister of Our Lady of Good Counsel because they saved my life. And I looked to her to say, they saved your life? What do you mean? And she said, I didn't know about God. I didn't know how much God loved me. And now all I want to do is tell everyone that God loves them too. And that's why I want to be a Sister of Our Lady of Good Counsel. And I thought, oh, my goodness, what else could there be? What other reason could there be to join these wonderful, warm, hospitable sisters? They're nurses, they're teachers, they're administrators in their archdiocese. They're so hardworking and they need your help.
We need your prayers. We are asking for your prayers that we may get energy, we may get finance to do all this work that is in front of us. We are asking for your financial support. Whatever you have, let it be small, let it be $1, let it be 2, 5. That will help one victim. How about doing vocations to mission work? What do I mean by vocations to mission work? You can do vacations in your parishes by helping in the parish. You can do it in the diocese. You can stretch yourselves beyond your diocese and parish. Go to other states, go to other countries. Come to Uganda and see for yourselves what I'm talking about. On behalf of our congregation and the Superior General, I thank you in advance. May God bless you all. If you are writing a check, write it in the name of the parish and on memo put for missions. The parish priest will take the check to the mission office. And if you want to know more from our congregation,
I've witnessed firsthand the work that they do, saving lives, teaching, and sharing God's love. So today I'd ask you to be as generous as you possibly can for the Sisters of Our Lady of Good Counsel from Mbarara, Uganda. You'll never regret a minute of it.
Thank you very much. May God bless you and reward you.
Thank you.